Today's topic is living ready. I can't tell you how many times through the decades of Jeff and I doing what we do, and then also, having an adult daughter, Tiana, who lived in the world for one decade as a professional touring dancer with top pop stars in the world. Her husband being a musical director, in a situation in the same way as our models, where you kind of go gig to gig. But over time, relationships are established, new doors open. We've experienced that. We're in the midst of experiencing it again. And I know that it all comes from living ready. And what that is, it's a mindset, it's a practice, it's a way of looking at life. We've always told our models, you need to live ready, you need to be ready. And what does that mean? Well, a couple of things. If we have a model who's still in development, maybe they're still based in Iowa or Missouri or Alabama or Texas, even though they're not physically in the space of where they're going to have the immediacy of being right in the fashion modeling world. We're in a mode of preparation. We're doing all that we can do on our end. And when those two worlds collide, you need to be ready. We've had opportunities through the years. I remember one model in particular who she was modeling, things were kind of moving, not at a super fast pace. She was gaining momentum, as in any career, as in any endeavor. Things take time, especially great things. And we didn't realize this, and she didn't know this, but there was a pretty major team that was looking at her for a very specific project, which she would have been perfect for, but she wasn't ready when the opportunity came. She had kind of slacked off on her regular trips to the gym. There were many things that had unfolded. Long story short, that opportunity went to somebody else who now is literally a superstar. It doesn't mean that momentum can't be picked up, but it's just like how you hear stories of actors or musicians, or it could be really anything, that they don't realize that an opportunity is right around the corner. And so when the opportunity arises, they're not ready. It's that adage, that thing that we've heard a million times over and over, when preparation meets opportunity. The reason why you hear it over and over is because it's real and it's tangible. We've always prided ourselves, or tried hard, to be ready, to have our models ready. And we're in Fashion Week time. Fashion Week is a time that we always explain to our models, the families, that especially the new ones, this is an elevated time. It's where opportunities can seemingly come out of the blue. It can be that one day you don't know that you're going to have the opportunity that you're going to have the next day. We've shared the story many times of Alanna Arrington. We were in New York. It was her first season. It was all new. She was at a fitting for one show when we got the call, and she got the call to drop everything and go to, it was Diane Bedford-Sundberg's, her last presentation. And the long story short is, not only did she get there in time, but it was the last minute. She went in, she was engaging with Diane herself. She starts dancing around. Alana was confident. She felt great. We had 3 years of preparation under her belt. The previous month, she was really working to be in fighting mode, really to be at her best, ready to be ready. And because she was ready, the doors flung open wide, and the rest is history. It really changed a lot for her. You can see these kinds of things over and over and over, and mentally, the way to look at it, it's having that mindset that at any given moment, a great opportunity can come. We had just taken a meeting with a kid who was at Walmart. A friend saw him, sent us pictures, we sit down and have a conversation and we go, hey, we know this is seemingly out of the clear blue sky. We've been doing this a long time, but when you're the kid that works at the movie theater and somebody sees you at Walmart, it's all new. But being willing to be open and to say, hey, this could really lead to something. And then when you put the work behind it, magic happens. We have another girl who came in October. It was our final open call before, I believe it was October, if not fall. It was before Tribute. She'd never done anything like this before. She was an aspiring model who kind of put her stuff out there on Instagram, wasn't doing it in the right way, which happens a lot, but we saw something in her that was special. She walked at Tribute a little tiny bit under the radar. We gave her advice and direction of how she could live ready, how she could be ready, how she could be at her best. And this is a girl who has a lot of determination, very open. When I coach her, she listens. She listens. I say, do this with your walk. And 2 seconds later, she goes, okay, I get it. She's open. She wants to learn. A week ago of me recording this, we did a test shoot of her. She came in, she'd been really focused on her John Benton workouts, looked like $1 million, shot some digitals, some walking video. Long story short, without giving it all away, she's already been to New York, and this season could be a life changer for her. So how is that relevant to all of us? You never know what's around the corner. With our family, our children, they have different careers, different endeavors, and we always tell them, don't stay focused on where you're at right now. Work towards where you see yourself, and be always learning. Watch, observe the people that are doing more than you, and do everything that you can strive to be ready when your opportunity comes, because it will come. I believe absolutely that we all have to believe that we have to live it. I've lived my entire life that way, and even if it took a decade to get someplace, it didn't matter. Right now we're working on a project that literally was, we basically started the idea of this 13 years ago. But we're very, very aware that in this season of our lives, we're ready. The timing is right. We never gave up on it. We kept moving in that direction to whatever degree. And when you do that, the sky is the limit. I loved seeing an interview a few weeks ago. I wish I could remember her name, and sadly I don't, but she's an actress who'd been a working actress for 40 years, and Tyler Perry just cast her in a major project of his. And I love that she just lived ready. She kept elevating her game. We always say, don't focus on the result, focus on the process. Keep moving in the direction. Stay consistent, stay consistent, stay consistent. If there's a period of time where you're off a little bit, pick it back up and keep going in that direction. We all have bad days. We all have little hiccups in our lives. We have times where we have to set things down. I've talked about having to set my writing down for a while, but the joy of bringing it back. And I watched an amazing masterclass with Shonda Rhimes, who obviously is a very successful woman. And she talked about the way that she looks at writing for all of the shows that she writes for, is that considers it as muscle memory, meaning in the same way that as you work out, you get good and your muscle memory picks up and then it becomes second nature. That's how she writes. And I listen to how the mindset, the habits that she stays on top of consistently writing, and just having listened to her and learned that, I've already started to apply it in my own life, and I'm so thankful for that. I want to know that I'm always moving in the right direction, and you should too. You never know when somebody's in a position that maybe for whatever reason they're not going to be there anymore, and you want to step up into it and be ready. When I was in high school, a freshman, all I wanted to be it was called the Pom Pom Squad back there. Then it was called the Pom Squad, and now I think people call them dance teams. But at the time, I wanted to be a pom-pom girl. I wanted to be in the pom-pom squad, and I tried out for it, and whatever the number was. Maybe there was 15 girls on the squad. I can't ever remember. I love that we were a squad, by the way. And I was the last one that didn't get it. I was the cutoff. And there was a girl who was a real popular, cool girl at our school, very hip, very, and I think she just decided, well, I don't want to do that much work. Because a week later, after the tryouts, her name was Midge Boddicker. Midge Boddicker decided that she didn't want to be in the pom pom squad. And so guess who got on the squad? Mary Monahan. And I was ready, because I was still dancing in my basement. I was ready to be on that squad. And here's the great part of the story. Not only did I end up being the last one on the squad, I then became the choreographer, and then the last 2 years I was the team captain, and it was because I was ready. Can I tell you, I didn't even know I was gonna tell that story until I'm talking, and I just remembered. But my point is, you never know. That's the most exciting thing about life. That's why I think that we love what we do. Jeff always talks about the joy and the excitement of launching that new thing, having Alana come running off after that DBF and going, we didn't even know about this 3 hours ago, and here we are. But there was preparation, so she was ready. Our life is filled with stories of that. And it's the ones who get in their head and can't stay on the persistent path of consistency that you lose opportunities, but they can always be reborn. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, I loved this quote. I thought this was a big part of living ready. You attract what you're ready for. I'm like, I've never heard that before. You attract what you're ready for. That, and here's the thing, you may not even really know that you're ready, but you're as ready as you're ever going to be. And I do think I saw an interview with somebody talking about parenthood and this person wanting to be ready for parenthood. It was on the Taylor Swift documentary, and the guy, it's like her music producer friend, was like, Taylor, no one's ever really ready. You figure it out as you go. That is true about what we do. It's true about relationships, it's true about opportunities, it's really true about anything. But you can be moving in the right direction. A verse that I love talks about being ready in season and out of season. It means that even if you don't, my interpretation is even if you're not fully aware of it, you don't know what's around the corner, so you need to be ready in season and out of season. You need to be ready at all times. You need to be ready for all that God has for you. And here's the thing, I think a huge part of being ready is that you have to walk with a mindset of looking for opportunities, looking for new things, looking for people that are supposed to be in your path. I mean, when you have that way of navigating in this world, it's exhilarating. It really is, because it helps you to never feel stuck. Jim Rohn is one of the classic, he's no longer with us, but I love his books, I love his philosophy. I think because he kind of reminds me of, if my dad would have lived past his early 50s, he would have been a Jim Rohn kind of a guy. He would have listened to the simple truth of the things that he says. If you're not familiar with him, he's written a million great books, but I love this quote. Don't join an easy crowd. You won't grow. Go where the expectation and the demands to perform are high. I know that in Mother we have a high expectation. We have a high expectation of the people that are in our lives, the models, the teams that we work with. But the expectation is grounded in love and support. And it's also because we know that when you expect a lot and challenge yourself for a lot, that's when life brings you a lot. So in whatever way, figure out how you can live more ready and make it a challenge for this new wonderful decade we have. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you next Monday.